Hi everybody, I'm here to do Book Rat Misty's book chat for March. It is about buzzwords and deal breakers. Basically kind of keywords, or for me kind of more specific genres that make you want to really read a book regardless of what else you know about it, or make you not want to read a book. I'll start with my buzzwords. Definitely number one is dystopian. I don't know what it is, but I am addicted to dystopian books. Even ones that I kind of know I won't like that much because they have some other, like a deal breaker in it for me, like Matched, which is all about a love triangle. I had to pick that up. If I hear dystopian, unless it is just gotten, so trash in reviews that it just sounds so completely horrible, I have to read it. I'm addicted to my dystopians. Also, mystery. If you've watched any of my other videos, I almost always have an Agatha Christie book. I am addicted to, especially the cozies, like, the golden age of detective fiction back in, like, 1930s, Agatha Christie, Dorothy L. Sayers. All of those I absolutely adore. But pretty much any other kind of genre of book, if it contains a mystery or a detective story in it, that always piques my interest. Another thing would be, tying into the mystery aspect, would be historical mysteries, also historical fantasies. I love Jane Austen and other like classic, also Victorian literature and that kind of thing, but this is always a problem for me because I'm always attracted to these types of books, and I feel like more often than not when I read something historical, I just find myself noticing stuff that I think is not kind of period correct, which I'm not an expert on any other time period by any means, so I don't know why I do this. But I still, nonetheless, I am attracted to it all the same, just hearing historical, and that also goes into steampunk as well. I love that kind of stuff, and I always want to read it. I'm always drawn to it, even if I don't always necessarily like it. Moving on to deal breakers. I feel like I had a lot more of these. I kind of had to trim them down. One is paranormal romance. I'm always very hesitant to read these, even books that are really popular, like pretty much anything that has to do with vampires or werewolves, especially fallen angels, that kind of thing. After Twilight, I'm extremely skeptical. Like, I even have Shiver by Maggie Stiefvater, and it's about werewolves and a girl falling in love with a werewolf. I am just so hesitant to read it because of other experiences of what I've read. I'm always afraid to read these books, even if they're so popular or well loved. A lot of these other deal breakers usually are very popular in paranormal romance novels, so I think that's why, like a love triangle, and this is so common in YA now. I feel like it's used in everything. I am so sick to death of love triangles. I always find it so refreshing now to read a book that has a romance in it without a love triangle that I feel like love that couple to death, just because there was no love triangle involved. Like in Rampant, I absolutely adored it. It did help that I liked both the characters, but one major thing that had me rooting for the couple in that was that there was no third party who the girl was torn between, trying to decide. That definitely was a plus for me. Unfortunately, some of these books that I am happy to find no love triangle in, I hear they have a love triangle in the sequel. Oh, these authors just couldn't hold out. They have to give in to this, love triangle thing. I don't know. It's just using everything, especially Cassandra Clare cannot seem to write any book without a love triangle in it. Having read the Mortal Instruments trilogy, the continuation with A Study of Fallen Angels, she's got another love triangle going now that the first one is resolved with a different character, which I found extremely annoying. I was so happy also to, not have the love triangle anymore, and she had to bring up another one. Also, in her Infernal Devices trilogy, which I happen to like a lot more than the Mortal Instruments, the main thing that brings those books down for me, the main negative point I have, is the love triangle, which is just so overused, especially for her. I'm just sick and tired of it. I don't want to see it anymore. Also, this is another common thing in the paranormal genre. Anytime I read the back of a book and I see something like this, it makes me cringe, and I really do not want to read the book, is insta-love. Anything I want to hear the word instant, the mysterious stranger, stuff like that, the girl is immediately drawn to and can't help herself, blah 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 blah. No, I don't want to read it. I don't believe in love at first sight. I'd much prefer to read about people maybe getting to know each other first and then falling in love, whether they're friends or they start dating and they feel an attraction maybe. But instant love is a definite no. And this and the love triangle I seem to read about all the time, dealing with the paranormal books for some reason. And it's usually, they're all kind of combined together. The girl, main character, who's just kind of an everyday, plain Jane, Blake Slate kind of character, has this best friend who the reader can tell is deeply in love with her, but the girl has no idea until she meets this mysterious stranger who happens to also be like the, supernatural character of the book, who she is just immediately falls in love with. And it's not until she realizes her feelings for the other guy that she finds out that her friend is in love with her, and then she's torn and she can't decide. I don't want to deal with any of that stuff. My last kind of deal breaker is I'm not hugely into contemporary books. I tried and tried several times, and usually if it deals with something else, like a mystery or some other issue, I'm okay with that. But my main one is contemporary romance. If the book is just about a romance, and it's just a contemporary, everyday romance, not set in, a historical time or a futuristic time or anything like that, I can't deal with it. I do not want to read a book that is just about a romance of today. I tried quite a few times. I also tried, I could not stand Perfect Chemistry by Simone Alcalez, and maybe there are some better titles out there, but I love to read about romance if it's within, a bigger picture, like as a subplot or a side story. That kind of romance I like, but I just don't want it to be the main focus of the book. I'm not into it. That wraps it up for my Buzzwords and Deal Breakers book chat. I'll see you guys next time.